G'day guys, how's it bloody going? And welcome to m8t5 Reviews PlayStation 4. The PlayStation 4 is the fourth home console to be released by Sony 18 years after the original PlayStation. And of course with each console, it's the next generation. Which pretty much half the time means, wow, that game looks fucking awesome. Hey, come on, you can remember when PlayStation 1 used to have awesome graphics, come on. Where to start with the PlayStation 4? Where to start? Oh, so much to talk about. Let's talk about the actual console itself. The console is actually very sleek design, very futuristic for this kind of day and age. It's sort of like you know, on an angle like that. I don't know what that shape's called, but it's just a really awesome shape. It looks good. I actually put it on top of my cabinet because I just want to show it off, even though the fucking cat walks all over it. Pisses me off. I'm gonna kill that motherfucker. So yeah, great design. This is a console you definitely want to show off to friends and family. You want someone to walk into the room and say, "Oh, what the hell is that thing? It's bloody fancy looking." "Oh, it's just my PlayStation console." "Oh, wow, why are you still playing those? You're not 10 anymore." Well, consoles aren't made for 10-year-olds anymore. So the console looks great with a split down a quarter of the console, half of that quarter being gloss, the other part being that matte stuff or whatever it's called. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm not a smart ass. I tell you what, gloss drives me fucking up the wall. As soon as I got out of the box, fingerprint, you just can't deny how horrible that is. Especially with an animal in the house first sticks to that bloody thing like glue, and it just looks horrible. Without that stuff, it looks fine. It looks awesome, in fact. It has two buttons on the front. It's got a little power button and an eject button, which seem to be touch sensitive, but for some people they might be a bit small because they're like about that thin or something. But like, I don't mind them. I think it's quite stylish actually because it's the same size as the line on the top of the console, and the line displays different colors. So I think it starts blue when it starts up. It's white while it's working. Orange is standby mode. I think those are the only ones I can really tell at the time, but it's quite nice to look at. It has two USB points on the front. I'm kind of disappointed that there's only two. I would have liked a bit more, just so I can plug in more things at once. On the back of the PS4 we have all these air vents, which is really nice to let all the hot air out so it doesn't overheat. And we have the power input, we have the digital out, optical, we have the HDMI, a LAN port, and a special aux cord, which is apparently for the camera that you can buy separately with the PS4. People that were wanting maybe the red, white and yellow cables might be disappointed because these new next-gen consoles do not support that. It's all HDMI from here. Always. Which isn't a bad thing because you get the best graphics. So yeah, the console looks great. It's got all the ports hopefully you should need. While it's running, it's not too noisy. I haven't really heard anything, to be honest. Like every now and then I hear a disc maybe make a noise, but that's about it. So it runs pretty smoothly. I'll quickly talk about the controller here, the DualShock 4. It's quite a leap forward from the DualShock 3, I must say. Bloody hell. Look at this shit. I mean, some of you that use the PS3 controllers and see this, you must think, fuck, what is this shit? So yeah, as you can see, all the layouts are pretty much the same. Pause and select are the only things that's missing from this controller, but pretty much the options button up here and the touchpad here is the start and select, because this is actually a button. This touchpad is actually a button. It's also used, like for example in Killzone, it's used to change the attack pattern of like your little owl thing. So yeah, it's different. I'm not sure how it will work with all games because I've only really tried it out with Killzone, and it was alright. So we'll see what games do in the future. And over here is the share button, which is a new feature for the PS4, which I will get to. Older shooting games for the PS4 now use the triggers, which I actually quite like, because they just feel natural, you know, they just feel nice. I like it. The new sticks sort of have more of an Xbox feel, because they have the nice grooves in them, but it's just very nice. It takes a while to get used to. I must admit, the first time I held this bloody thing, I was playing shooting games, I couldn't hit anything. I couldn't hit shit. But I have adjusted to them, and now the controller just feels natural to me. It just takes time. The controller also now has this input thing in the bottom, which you use to plug in. You can actually plug in any headset that you have, anything, like your iPod headset or anything, and all of the game sounds or chat volume can come out of that. It's up to you. This is actually really useful for me, for a family man, because I can just plug any headset I want in there and they don't have to hear anything that I'm doing. It's just bloody brilliant. I love it. It's also got a home button, which is this little button here, which you may know from the PS3 controller, which is used for it's used for turning off the console. It's used for getting back to the main menu while in the game, which I'll talk about now. So this is a quick little video I made of the menu of the PS4. I just like how simple and streamed it is. Simply go left and right. It has the order of games that you have, in which order you played them last, so you can quickly just find them just like that on the menu. Yeah, I just enjoy having everything just on this one menu. I can just find whatever I want. And if you press up on the controller, you can find all the other things like your profile, your trophies, your messages, settings, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, now that I've talked a bit about the console and the controller and the menu, let's go through my pros and cons. Starting with the pros! The PlayStation 4 has basic presentation, but is very lovely. It's just lovely. The relaxing, calming music and just the lovely, you know, it just feels like a great atmosphere. Party chat has finally been included. This is the one thing that I missed from the PlayStation 3. It needed it. It really did. It's just the one feature from the Xbox 360 that I really, really wanted. Everything is very multitasking now with this console. Games install quickly, and you can still do things while it's installing. You can also do things while it's downloading updates for system software. You can even play the games while it's installing updates, except for online multiplayer. This is a new feature that I really love. You can download in standby mode. Now this is very useful because I remember with the PS3, used to leave it on like all day, using up all the power, and it was pretty much, you know, in its normal mode. But now the PS4 has a standby mode, which means it goes into a low power state while it still downloads, so it's brilliant. Fucking brilliant. As I said with the share button on the controller, the PS4 apparently records 15 minutes of footage at a time, and you can also take screenshots whenever you want to. There's actually different settings for how the share button works. My setting at the moment is if I press the share button once, it takes a screenshot. And once you have a video or a screenshot, you can upload it to Facebook or Twitter. Just as simple as that. Trophies seem to sync faster than they used to on the PS3, and also the PlayStation Store opens up quicker than it used to. I just love all this speed. I'm just loving it. So much speed. Do you remember with the PS3 when you used to press the home button, it used to take forever to load that like very simple XMB menu, and it was really badly done. Well, with the PS4, as soon as you press that button, it just goes straight back to the menu. Everything is fluid. It just works really well. You can access pretty much everything. It's just brilliant. I love it. Well, with pros, you know, there's obviously going to be cons. Shit. With this list, I'm pretty sure most of these cons are just launch issues. They may be fixed at a later date. I'm not too sure, but we'll see. Alright, let's get to this because you know it's just going to be depressing. Alright, no themes or personalization of any kind at all, which is very disappointing because I loved the themes and the way you could just personalize your PlayStation 3. It was nice. It was well done. I liked it. So obviously they're going to introduce something like that soon, but I hope it's soon. With the video editing of your footage, it is very basic stuff. From what I can see, all you can do is trim your video. You can't add videos together, you can't like adjust brightness and contrast, all fancy stuff that you expect a video editor to do. No, it just seems to all just be trimming, so that's a shame. This is kind of a letdown for me. It would have been nice to be able to do, but you are unable to multitask with DVD playbacks. I'm not sure about Blu-ray, I haven't tested that out yet, but you press the menu button and it just says, do you want to quit the DVD? That's a shame, yeah. Now these two really suck. No MP3 or CD compatibility. What the fuck? Why would I not want to listen to music? You know, that's what I use my PS3 for, you know, movies, music, all that stuff. It's just, where's the music? Well, I'm sorry, I don't want to pay for your fucking music subscription thing. I want to listen to the own music that I fucking paid for. And I also don't support frickin' external hard drives, which is crap because I have one and I plug it into my PS3 and I listen to my music and shit. But apparently I've read that these are things that they might consider adding in later, but they fucking better. Please. Just do it. At the time that I wrote this, there was only an IGN app available, but apparently now there's QuickFlix and VidZone. But still, it's a very small selection of apps, which is kind of sad. Where's the YouTube app? I love the YouTube app on the PS3, it's great. This is a little pain in the ass thing for me. When I'm playing a game, taking a screenshot is actually a real pain in the ass. Because you can't really take a screenshot unless you're standing still, because you have to get up here and press this button. So you pretty much can't take an action screenshot, which is what I would like to do. Like, I'd like to, you know, be killing something or doing something awesome and, you know, taking an awesome screenshot of it. It's just, it's not very practical. It doesn't really work. You can take screenshots of the video capture, but unfortunately the video capture is degraded somewhat, so it doesn't look as good, so it's just a huge letdown. Also, I haven't talked about this yet, but the controller does have a light bar, as you can see. This has pros and cons. The pro is it's really cool, and it displays like different colors for different things in different games. Like for example in Killzone, it shows green as in like full health, and apparently when you're dying it goes to red or something and starts flashing red. But the con is, and you'll hear this everywhere, is that you can't see it. You can't see it. You're holding it like this. You can't see it because it's on an angle like that. I don't know if you can see it, but it's just on like an angle like that. And you just can't see it. So it's a really shame, but I really like it. It's kind of cool. I like the colors. Pretty colours. Pretty colours. Anyways, moving on. Now, this might piss off some people, but I don't mind this as much. You have to pay for online multiplayer now. As with the PS3, you could play any game online for free. But now you have to actually pay for the PlayStation Plus subscription to actually play online on the PS4. But this isn't really a problem for me because I've been a PlayStation Plus subscriber ever since it first came out on the PS3. And I've been loving every bloody minute of it, really. So this might piss off some people. For me, it's not that bad because you get some awesome free games, which at the moment is Contrast and this game called Resogun or something. It actually looks really cool. I saw my friend playing it and I was just like, ooh, that's quite badass. These next-gen consoles are going very internet-based, you know, the whole worldwide... Ooh, gonna burp then. The whole World Wide Web crap. And, it's good and bad, but for me, I live in Australia, and the internet that I get isn't that great. Because, you know, our politicians are shit and they just don't want fastnet for some fucking reason. But besides that, you know, if you don't play this on the internet, it's sort of, you're missing out on a lot of things. Like, really, pretty much everything besides playing games, really. So that's just a huge shame, you know. Since you can't listen to music or anything like that, you can pretty much just watch movies and play games. But you can't do any of the other cool, awesome things it can do. Out of all of them, this one probably pisses me off the most. At the moment, you cannot pause any downloads or updates or anything you download from the net. You cannot pause them. And fuck, that pisses me off. I actually figured out just then that you can turn off automatic updating because every time I logged onto the PlayStation, it automatically kept trying to update my games, and I can't do it at the moment because I'm on crappy dial-up net because I used up all my usage. But I used to keep trying to download it, and you can't, like, pause it. I was downloading a game, it got halfway through, and that's when my net capped off, and so I downloaded half the game, but I can't pause it. I could, you know, with the PlayStation 3, you could have paused it and could have waited until the net came back so you can keep downloading it. But with this console, you can't pause it. I had to fucking delete it. That was 2 gigs worth of download, and I just had to delete it. It was shit. So yes, please patch this. I beg of you. I want to pause. That's it. It's not a huge ask. Oh, God. Please. So yeah, I've gone through the console, I've gone through the controller, I've gone through the pros and cons. I think that's pretty good. The system is currently retailing for $550 here in Australia, but unfortunately they're in some sort of short supply because apparently you can't even like go into a store and buy one. But with the Xbox One you can. Well, I think so anyway. But that's a shame because I've got friends that didn't pre-order them and I'd like to go and, you know, buy them, but I think they would have to wait in a line or buy it from America or something. I don't know what they'd have to do. So if they try and get it from Australia, they have to wait until Christmas or, you know, even next year until March or something crazy. But in some sort of way inside me, I have to say that could be a good thing. From what I hear, both of these consoles, the PS4 and Xbox One, seem to be suffering from launchitis. It's like they've both been pushed out the door and they haven't finished. They didn't finish everything they wanted to do, and it's just a shame because if it had released with like all these things, all of my cons list would be gone. It would pretty much just be all pros, and that would have been fucking awesome. But since most of the cons make it aced out, I have to say that this is a pretty amazing console. I've had no problems with it. It's beautiful to look at. I love playing games. I love PlayStation 4. It's just great. And at the moment, there's not a huge like library of games either, so you pretty much have to wait until next year until anything good comes out. So there is kind of a benefit for those people who have to wait, but still, for the true gamer, it's still torturous. I mean, I had to wait 3 days, and that was torturous enough. I know, I'm sad, leave me alone. I have no life. So overall, I would recommend this one. I would definitely recommend this console. If you love the PlayStation 3, you're gonna love all the new features that it has, because I know I do. Well guys, I hope I've given you enough information for you to consider buying this product, because I would highly recommend it. Well, hopefully, since I reviewed the PS4, I'm going to try and review its launch game, Killzone Shadowfall. I'm sorry if this looks very fanboyish, only reviewing the PlayStation 4, but unfortunately I'm not fucking rich. Get off my back. But anyways, I hope you've enjoyed my review, because I've enjoyed making it. If there's anything you'd like to know about the PlayStation 4, please leave a comment down below, and I'll try and answer it the best I can. Remember to subscribe and like if you enjoyed this video, and if you want to see more. Anyways guys, I hope you enjoyed this review, and I hope you bloody come back to the next one. But for now, m8t5 is bloody out of here.